old school now, which is just weird, but they're old school character-based actions that changed so many people's lives because that was where the trust was. Having fair value exchange, doing what you say you're going to do, having that win-win or no deal, making sure that whatever the project is that you're working on, whatever the money that you are working to create benefits all people, all the parties that are involved in it. Creating that lifetime value relationship, not a churn and burn thing. So when you are looking at income-based principles, it definitely has to do with that trust, that ability to have those relationships for the long term. People do business with people they like and trust. That has never changed. A short video by the authors.
And so be careful that we don't sell out our integrity for $1 or cut corners or be so intensely looking at how to cut corners and save money that we sell out our character at the same time. Our character is invaluable and should never be traded for a few dollars. And there's a bigger picture to this too. If you let money be the focus and you don't allow it to serve your purpose instead, you can live a wasted life. The oil magnate of the prior century, J. Paul Getty, was one of the wealthiest men, if not the wealthiest person on the earth at his time. And when he died, they say that only the people that came to his funeral were those who were expecting something in his will and they were trying to keep up appearances for the lawyers. That's a tragic ending to a life that could have been so contributional to others with all the money and all the power that came along with his wealth, all the good that he could have done, and yet there weren't very many people to attest to that at the end of his life. That's another way of losing your character by being profit-centered instead of purpose-centered.
It's a good example of the money manipulator view that you talked about earlier, because it was said J. Paul Getty would go around manipulating people and saying, I'll give you this if you do this. And look at his funeral, you found out who his true friends were. Only a few people showed up, and only those who thought they were going to get some money. Again, even manipulation from the grave.
Matthew 8:36 says, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? And it's a great window into what happens when we trade our integrity for money. So when we talk about money, when we talk about becoming financially fit, we use that term because it should represent in your mind a picture of health. When you think about being fit, someone who's worked on their fitness, they may not be a paragon of muscular development, but they're healthy, they're fit, they're whole. That's the type of financial picture we're trying to help you develop. And you may or may not get wealthy and rich, but you will be financially fit. You'll be in great financial shape. And that means to have integrity and to be whole. And you don't have to sell off parts of your character in order to accomplish that. So that when you do have money, you can be proud of how you've earned it and how you are deploying it in the world.
Think about in business, how many times will you come back to a business where you know you were treated right and you know they do the right thing by you? For example, when Lori and I were building our house, we had a guy do a quote on a window, and as he was putting in this natural light window, he came back to it and said, well, we have a problem. And I'm like, well, what's that? And he said, my bid was too high. It didn't really take that much time. It wasn't as long as I thought. And he refunded half of what he bid. Do you think I'm going to use that person again when I have window needs? Absolutely, because his character, his principles were more important than his profit.
Remember that money isn't our purpose. Money is to serve our purpose.
Let's have a quick look at one of the things about that principle versus profit-centered. So if everybody can unmute, and let's just start to have a quick conversation about what that means to us. What are we talking about when we talk about principles over the principles of money? So Judy, just for the sake of everybody else, just want to tell us a little bit about your business and what you're doing.
Oh, my husband's a builder. And he's been a very passionate builder all his life. That's all he wants to do. And he's never worried about the money. So from year to year, some years we've made a lot of money and we've really enjoyed it very nicely. And other years it was like minus a lot. I had 2 years in particular out of 40 years of building that was so devastating that we lost our home. That was 20 years ago. And from financial fitness, we've turned it around to having minus whatever it was that we owed after we paid out our home, or paid out our debts with our house. We were minus 6 figures. Sorry, you're not supposed to go into too many details. We were minus 6 figures. And I went, oh dear.
What do we do now?
So, we just kept on working, but we'd lost the spark.
Yep.
When I came across financial fitness, we've turned it around so much that we're not out of debt yet, but we have a mortgage again, and we have available 6 figures.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
It's a
that's
total
the plain
turnaround.
Principles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you have those good years, I knew about Save Your Seed Wheat, but we're in the lucky country. We didn't ever have to worry about much here. But good years and bad years come.
Yeah.
And it's just so exciting. Sorry?
And they go.
They go.
And they go.
That's right. They go. So,
So,
I'm just so thrilled. And all the ideas tonight are just so, just that little one seed.
Yeah.
We can apply to our lives. Each one of us can apply to our lives.
Yep.
And it just makes such a difference. So keep the faith and,
Definitely. And it's good to have that plan. I talk with so many people, and the loss of hope, the no plan to be able to combat the down.
Yep.
And it makes a huge difference we actually have a game plan, and I'm here to help you to get through that game plan, and we're going to brush it off when we fall, and we're going to pick you up, and we're going to work through it step by step by step until you get there. And that's a good thing. Because sometimes just having a plan matters. It's a messy plan and it's uncomfortable, but a plan is better than no plan.
Yeah.